Hi, I'm Eric Westrich with Aquillius, and we're here with Dr. Jing Chen, who is CEO of HiComp. Jing, welcome.
Well, nice to meet you. It's my honor.
So you're playing with things like microfluids and
Yes.
chips and all kinds of exciting things. Was that something you were always in, or is this something that you just always knew or evolved over time? Take me back to the moment when you said, I really like this stuff. Who were you talking to when you realized that? What was that? Take us back to what is that like when it just appeared in your brain, you said, this is me.
Okay, so for microfluidics, I think I'm not always working on microfluid. I think I get into touch with microfluid, I think maybe some 15 years ago. So as you probably know, I used to be working in the academic area. I work as a professor in a top-notch university, Peking University, for 16 years. And my career starts. I don't think I'm a scientist. I'm an engineer. I studied mechanics in a university and transferred to EE department to pursue my PhD in semiconductor technology. That's all, not irrelevant with biology, which I'm working, which I think microfluidics is an enabling technology for life science, right? But I don't have any background in life science. I think probably I watched your interview with the other guys. I think Steve and Eman. They are working on life automation. So I think microfluidics is just a further move from the lab automation. In microfluidics, we do automation, but
So
not
why
with
did
a big.
microfluids catch your attention though? What was it about that said, ooh, I
The,
really
the,
like
I,
this? I mean,
yeah,
to do
right.
it as long as you have and start a company, you have to really like it. It can't be, oh, that's okay. So what is it that made you go, I really like this? When did you
Be-
realize?
because microfluidics I first say something about microfluidics. I would rather describe it lab on a chip use another name which is kind of equivalent to microfluidics. So in our area, so microfluidics is the ability to handle tiny and little liquid or liquid within a very confined space. So by doing this, it has to we have to have some technology to support it, right? So we have to fabricate very tiny little reservoirs and channels and micro wells, micro pillars on top of different surface like plastic, like glass, and as well as silicon. Uh, my experience is semiconductor. So with advanced semiconductor technology, you can fabricate these tiny little structures with the feature size of micrometer or even nanometer very easily. It's mature. I think you have heard that
Right.
TSMC
Oh,
good at
chips.
it,
I,
right?
I worked at a
Yeah,
I worked at an
yes, but
ultrasound
but
company one year,
but
and they
probably
made these
yeah,
chips with the big things and put channels in them. And
yeah, right.
so I get that.
But
But what I'm really interested in is why were you so interested in it?
yeah,
I
I
what it
would
is, but why were you
yeah,
so interested
because
in it?
I previously now I also work in semiconductor technology. I got my PhD in semiconductors, but then I switched my interest. I was intrigued by question why we cannot make these tiny little structures on other materials, besides silicon. Why can we make tiny little structures with a feature size of microns and like nanos on stainless steel, on sci-fi, on ceramics, on polymers, all kinds of little things. So I invented a technology we call it multi-material microfabrication that can fabricate and can transfer these tiny little structures on different materials other than silicon. But then I realized that this is a revolutionary technology to fabricate, biochips. We call it microfluidics. We can actually fabricate a very little structure with the feature size of micrometer or nanometer structures on top of polymers or silicon, which is crucial. These two materials is very popular in microfluidics because in microfluidics, I think we use more thermoplastic or glass rather than silicon. So it is very useful. Then I do some I think maybe 12 years ago, I successfully manufactured microfluidic chips in my lab, and our customers, which is a public company in China, is very satisfied with the result. Then I realized it has huge potential. I have to industrialize this technology. Then I
There's no
founded my
doubt that
company.
there's no doubt that
Yeah.
it's cool stuff, but what
Okay.
were you doing when you got excited about this? I mean, there's this logical thing to say, I get that, but was there one specific thing you were working on where the light bulb went on and you said, oh my God, I can do things with this? Or was it just this gradual process?
The process, the technology is one thing. Another thing is that I think I'm pretty excited about the future of microfluidics, because with microfluidics, you can get the knowledge of your cell, of your body, right here, right now. So this is quite exciting.
Let's take out, I know how you see this, which is very
Yeah.
cool. But let's take somebody that if I said microfluids, they'd say what? And they don't get chips. How would they first experience the power of this? What kind of is the first result some average person might see that would get them to ask, so what's driving this? In other words, if we start with the outcome, what is one outcome of all the potential outcomes? What is one outcome you'd be most excited about that the average person would understand?
That take the so you know the COVID antigen test, which is very convenient to use. It can test. You can do self-test at home, and
Right.
it can, yeah, right. So microfluidics is a technology that can, to auto all kind of tests. So in the future, maybe using very a tiny little device like like that, like antigen test, COVID antigen, you can actually get knowledge of your gene, right? Of your DNA, and of all the molecular, all the about bioinformations within your body. That is very crucial to, because it's I can do some
Okay, so
in the
let's
early
say
knowledge
this
of.
way. One day my son was supposed to go on a
Okay.
trip and he
Yes.
didn't feel good in the trip and he wanted to
Yes.
say, should I fly? The way he might see that is he might just look at his phone and an app or something, the thing would talk to that and go, hey, you shouldn't fly because here's what's wrong with you. You go, wow. I mean,
Yeah.
it might be COVID, but it might be all kinds of things. So
Yes.
it could be telling you on a daily basis how healthy you are. It could be telling whether you should do things you should not. It might even say, could it even go as far as say, here's what you should eat or drink right now, or here's what you should do? Could it recommend activity based on results, or is that too far?
I think it's kind of step. This is the future. This
Okay.
is what which we are
That,
working very hard.
that's what we're
We're
doing,
working
say.
at that target. Yeah, right. That is
You're
what
working
we are
every
doing.
day. You're working on the day for stuff
Yeah.
and you feel like giving up half the time because it's hard. It's not
Yeah.
easy stuff what you're doing. It takes a lot of knowledge from a lot of different fields, from the electronics, the bio, you're putting it all
Yes.
together, but you're doing it for a reason. And when we talk about to the average person, why that makes a difference to them, um, right now, to understand your body where it is hard. Takes a lot
Yes.
of tests,
A lot
which are
of time it
inconvenient
consume.
and invasive, and it doesn't link those tests to anything. Like it just says you have COVID, yes, no. Okay, that's good to know, but things are not always yes, no. They're kind of like maybe you're going in this direction. Maybe you need to slow down. Maybe you need to speed up. Maybe you need to have more of this.
Yeah, you need quantitative, result, more accurate result, not positive or negative. And then by coupling with the modern maybe artificial intelligence technology, I think you kind of have a personal physicians accompany with you and tell you on the conditions of your body, you know, every time. So
So,
whenever you lit it,
something way back that made people excited was crazy TV show. Here's this science fiction show in Star Trek, and this guy just waves this device over a body, and it says, "Oh, here's you're healthy or not. Here's what's wrong with you." Now, this isn't quite that, but it's building that idea of not waiting till something breaks. You're talking about that idea of measuring health on a more continuing basis. Did I get that right?
this is one of the applications. I think the first commercialized, product on microfluidics is actually used by astronauts in ISS because they want to monitor their conditions in the space station. Then
Yeah, so if you're in the International Space Station, you don't want to say,
yeah,
"Oh,
right.
something's wrong. How do I
Yeah.
fix it?" Because you're not going to book an appointment with your physician. And
Now, that's some, 30 years ago, these technologies have been used in the International Space Station. But now, with the breakthrough of technologies, advanced manufacturing technologies combined with the advanced ICs, different ICs, different chemistries, I think the price dropped and we feel benefit, ordinary people like us.
but this is not just, we're talking about bio, so this is not just humans. This
Not
could
just human, yeah,
this
it
could be
can
animals,
actually animal, yeah, pet care.
plants.
Yes.
So we're talking
It,
about the health and status of all kinds of things. So if we kind of understand where we can go with this, how about this question for you? What is the biggest challenge you personally have to face in crossing that bridge from where you are now to this great future? I know there's a lot of challenges on a daily basis, but if you just had to pick one that you think is the most significant challenge you need to overcome, how would you explain that challenge to the average person?
I think probably the cost.
Cost.
Because you have to make things that can be used in the International Space Station uh, affordable to every ordinary people. So you have to do a lot of engineers and make a lot of innovations to make it happen. So I think when people are talking about microfluidics, they always talk, oh, this microfluidics is good, but it's too expensive. But this is, in our company, we are making every effort to lower the cost by our innovative, our technology, multi-material microfabrication, and coupled with other advanced, instrument technologies and optical technologies, we can actually drop down the cost, dramatically, and can bring this lower product to ordinary people, to every physicians and every patient. So
So one way forward, though, of course, is to focus on some of those few cases where the cost is worth it, like an International Space Station, because it's
mhm.
a lot cheaper to diagnose and fix something than it is to get a doctor's appointment and go to a doctor's appointment. And it's not just, there's a lot of environments where you can't stop or are isolated, where you want to know before things go wrong. So there's at least a field there in the near term. So what do you like most? So let's talk about why you started a company. You're an academic professor.
Yes.
And I know being a professor, that being a professor and having been a business owner, being a professor and being a business owner are radically different things. We can all agree on that. What made you decide to go for a business owner? And did you realize it would be that hard when you did it? Did you
No,
be ahead of time
no,
how
no.
hard it
To
was
be
going to be?
honest, if I know how hard it is to start a company, I would not do it. But it's kind of an accident. It's so at that time, I think there are a lot of our colleagues like stuff at that companies. I think, oh, this is cool, and then I was motivated by a recent result, which I told you that we have made an injection molded part with tiny structures, microfluidic chips. That I think from the feedback of our customers, it's even better than the product than the best product on the market. So this is really exciting. So then I think that these kind of things would worth a try. So that I jump in and start a company. So this is kind of in my career, I always want to pursue something that new that I've never seen. So this is my philosophy.
So if you had to pick one thing that you like best about where you work now, one thing you love, what's the thing you love most about your job that you just wouldn't want to give up if they told you couldn't do it? What's the one thing you love about your job? What do you like doing?
Uh, I would say the company itself. It's like my own child. I during this the journey to build up company, I met a lot of difficulty, like a lot of changes, a lot of people left and a lot of failure, and then I think I'm kind of satisfied with our current structure, with our current situation on the market. So it's like to look to bring up to raise a child, raise your own child. So I think the company itself is my biggest achievement right now.
And if there was one thing that you have to do yourself right now, that if you could hand off to one person for free, or even not, but if you just hand off one task that you wouldn't have to do again, what would that task be?
Task. Let me think about it.
It'd be
I,
asking for money, it could be talking to vendors, it could be filing your taxes. Well, what's the one thing you wish you could pass on to somebody else that right now you have to do personally?
I think if I can, I think I would pass HiComp to someone else, because it's all raised up these children when one day he will graduate and go to college, and this is the date I have to let it go. And then I can maybe do something else, do some real science, because I don't think I'm a scientist. Also, I publish a lot of papers. I can study some history, and maybe become a singer or writer, do something else.
Very good. Um, so I guess the second to last question is, what are you personally most excited about right now?
I think personally, I'm most excited about, I would say a story that right now, I personally excited about our existence, because after 2 years we have after COVID, uh, we have do a lot of business development in US. Now we have a lot of partners come over here, and then we have our own network. I think that is very exciting for us. But for my career, I think I never remember. I think at one time, I think it's probably 6 years from now. I think in the year 1917, when we won my first deal. I mean, a big deal. It's millions of RMBs. It's worked with our Chinese customers. We won a deal with our first big deal with a Chinese public company. That is unforgettable, because we work as a team. We do all kinds of cool things. We make live presentation. We do. I work with our customer engagement manager, and also our R&D director, to present, to interact with our prospect. Then after the last day, I mean September, uh, September the 31st, we closed the deal. That is quite exciting.
A deal is exciting, validation of your
Yeah.
work.
Yes.
If somebody wants to know more about you or HiComp, where's the best place for them to go?
I think you can go to my LinkedIn. You can search HiComp, and you can also go to our website, hicomp.us, HICOMT.us.
HICOMP.us.
US.
Or you can look up Dr. Jing Chen, JingChen on LinkedIn. Did I get that right?
Yes,
Jing,
correct.
thank you for being here with us, and thank you for what you do.
Well, thank you for your time.
Those who want to meet Jing personally can meet him at the R&D and Preclinical Tools Symposium here at Aquillius. You can find on our Eventbrite page under Aquillius. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.